I'm sorry, gentlemen, but my mother is too ill to receive visitors at present. And I am sure in any case there is nothing left for us to tell you.
Just one thing, Miss Carey. This scream in the middle of the night.
I heard it. Loud.
Then why not answer it?
Father often let out the most fearful yells. One got used to them.
You have my sympathies. It must have been very difficult.
Difficult? Yes, I suppose it was. I formed an attachment with a young man from the village, Robert Harnsworth. When my father found out, he called me the most vile names and beat Robert so badly. Would you like me to show you to the cabin?
No. No, thank you. Shall we, gentlemen?
When all this is over, I shall have it raised to the ground, the cabin. And in its place I shall plant some rhododendron bushes.
Where them?
I like rhododendron bushes, Mr. Holmes. Don't you?
What do you think to Miss Carey, Watson?
She seems to have been under a great deal of strain.
Yes.
Mr. Holmes, come and have a look at this. I was just about to open the door, but look.
Someone's been tampering with the lock. No doubt about that.
There's some marks on the window here as well.
Let me see. Yes, tried to force it. Failed on both occasions. Very poor sort of burglar.
I could swear these marks weren't here yesterday evening.
Sven Fortune's been rather kind to us.
What do you mean, Holmes?
Elementary. The person will undoubtedly return.
Indeed, elementary. And bearing something larger than the blade of a small penknife. So it'll be our fault if we're not here to receive him. Now, Hopkins, if we may use a more reputable means of entrance, let us examine the lair of Black Peter.
Most of the traces of the tragedy had been removed, but there were patches of dark reddish stain where the blood had soaked into the wood. For 2 hours, with the most intense concentration, Holmes examined every object inside the cabin, though I could see from his face that the search was not turning out to be a successful one.
Have you taken anything from the shelf, Hopkins? From beside the ship's logs here?
No, nothing.
Yes, there's less dust on the corner of this shelf than elsewhere. Yes, something's been removed. Yes, maybe even a book on its side. Yes, more likely a small box. What are you doing, Watson?
Oh, I'm just trying to free this fly. It's still alive, you see.
Leave it, Watson. If it's met its fate in that spider's web, then let it be. Peter Carey met his fate in this room, and so's the fly.
Getting very philosophical in your old age, Holmes. There. Buzz, buzz. Off he flies. And fate can go and jump in the river.
Well, on your own head, Beard. So, I can do nothing more here. Let's walk in the woods, Watson. Give some time to the birds and the flowers.
I'll stay here on guard, in case our visitor returns.
By all means, Hopkins. I fear it'll be nightfall before that happens.
Better safe than sorry, Mr. Holmes.
Indeed. Couldn't have put it better myself. Well, Watson, have you changed your opinion on our Mr. Hopkins?
He seems enthusiastic enough, I suppose.
Damning with very faint praise. And on such a beautiful day as well.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I've been a bit out of sorts recently, Holmes.
Not at all, my dear fellow.
Think back. This time of the year. Almost to the day, 7 years ago. When I first met Miss Mary Morstan, who later did me the honor of becoming my wife.
Yes, of course.
Her death, well, I keep remembering her standing alone in our sitting room. So brave, so unaffected. Yeah, memory can play the very devil with you sometimes.
Yes, I'm sure it can. But we must learn to live in the present, Watson. However painful.
Accept our fate, huh?
We have no option. Come on, my friend. Back to the present.
I still think we could have waited inside the cabin.
That's nonsense. There's no place to hide there. The important thing is to be able to observe what the object of this man's visit is.
If he comes at all.
Shh. I think our fly is approaching. We may take him now. No, wait. That's it, my friend. Light up your candle. Let's have a look at you. He seems rather ill at ease. Very frightened sort of burglar, I'd say, Holmes.
No, they must be here. They must be.
Now, my fine fellow.
Oh, my God.
Don't try anything. There are 3 of us and you have no chance of escape. Who are you and what do you want here? Quickly.
I must sit down, please.
Very well. No tricks, if you will. I am Inspector Hopkins of Scotland Yard, and these 2 gentlemen are assisting me. I advise you to answer me with the truth, otherwise...
I'm innocent.
Of what?
Carey's death. I know nothing about it.
Your name?
Nelligan. John Hopley Nelligan.
J.H.N. How interesting, eh, Mr. Holmes? What are you doing here?
May I speak in confidence?
Certainly not.
Then why should I tell you?
Because if you don't, it will go very badly with you.
But I'm innocent.
Come along, on your feet.
No, wait. I'll tell. Yes, I'll tell. Oh, but I'd hate to think of an old scandal getting a new lease of life.
Get on with it.
Yes, all right. Have you... did you ever hear of the names Dawson and Nelligan?
Eh?
West Country bankers. They failed for £1 million. Nelligan disappeared about 12 years ago.
Yes. He was my father. It was said he stole all the securities and fled, but not true. It was not true.
Then what did happen?
My father believed that if he were given time to realise the securities, every creditor would be paid in full. He had friends in the banking fraternity in Norway. So he set out for there in his yacht, just before the warrant was issued for his arrest.
A common criminal.
He was not. He left my mother and me a list of the securities and swore he would come back with his honour cleared.
And?
He never did. He and the yacht vanished, utterly.
How convenient.
No! There were dreadful storms off the Norwegian coast at that time. So we believed that he and the securities lay at the bottom of the sea.
So, what has all this to do with your being here, eh?
Less than a year ago, I discovered that some of the securities my father had taken with him had reappeared on the London market. I managed to trace the original seller. It was Captain Peter Carey of Woodman's Lee. I thought if I could get proof from Carey how these securities came onto the market, well, it would show that
your father had no view to personal profit when he took them.
Yes. I came down here to confront Carey, but before I could do so, he died.
What a pity.
I read at the inquest a description of the cabin. It mentioned the old logbooks of his vessel, so I tried last night and then now to gain access to them.
You mean you broke in?
Well, I thought if I could find the period covered in the logbooks...
You might discover your father's fate.
Yes, but look, the pages dealing with that month have been torn out.
So, you have nothing more to tell us?
No.
And tonight is the only time you have been inside this cabin?
Yes, the only time.
Then how do you account for this notebook, with your own initials on it, found in this very room?
Oh, Lord, no. I thought I must have lost it at the hotel. Oh, please, you must believe me.
Anything else you have to say, you can say in court, Nelligan.
Please, no.
Well, Mr. Holmes, I can only apologise for dragging you and Dr. Watson down here on such an unnecessary journey. My ploy with the notebook, as I was sure it would, has paid dividends. Yes, it turns out that I have brought this case to a successful conclusion.
I'm only sorry we were unable to be of more assistance.
Oh, in other circumstances, Mr. Holmes, I'm sure that both of you would have been of great help. Of very great help.
Tell me, Watson. What do you think of the Carey case?
All wrapped up, surely.
Thank you, Watson. You're a very great help.
Now, I think you're not completely satisfied with Mr. Hopkins' solution.
One should always look for a possible alternative and provide against it. That's the first rule of criminal investigation. I'm very disappointed in Stanley Hopkins. Let's see if the Morning Post can provide a few answers. Nothing there. Ah, yes, excellent, excellent. So, yes, my alternative develops apace. Watson, have you telegram form?
Yes, over here.
Yes, 2 messages, if you please. First, to Sumner, shipping agent Ratcliffe Highway. Send the 3 men on to arrive 10 tomorrow morning, signed Basil.
Captain Basil once again,
Yes,
huh?
second message to Inspector Stanley Hopkins. Important, be here tomorrow morning, 9:30. A necessary journey. Sherlock Holmes. This infernal case has haunted me for 10 days. Tomorrow, I trust that we shall hear the last of it forever.
Like father, like son, eh?
No, he was a good man.
Who ran away with other people's money. So, that evening you went down to Woodman's Lee, quarrelled with Peter Carey, and then killed him.
No, I abhor
And
violence.
terrified by what you had done, you fled, dropping the notebook behind you.
No, I only wanted the security.
So you killed Ford.
Not so, he was already dead.
What?
When I went there that night, the cabin door was open. I went inside. He was lying there, that spear thing sticking through him, and the blood all over. I ran away.
You confessed to being there that night.
Yeah, but not to killing.
You expect me to believe that?
Oh, no, please.
No doubt your motives were good. You wished to do the right thing by your father's creditors. But you committed murder, Mr. Nelligan, and no good motive can justify that.
Please believe me. Please believe me.
Lizzie? What are you doing, love? Nothing really, Mother. See? His captain's papers, see? No, he no longer exists, Black Peter.
Oh, Lizzie.
By the way, we're having a visitor this afternoon.
Who?
Robert Harnsworth. I've asked him for tea.
But what about your Oh.
Yes, no longer exists. I never stopped seeing Robert, you know. I've been meeting him secretly. He's been of great assistance. A tower of strength.
So, Nelligan is as good as confessed, and the case is over, Mr. Holmes. Over and done with.
You believe your solution to be the correct one?
Oh, it must be.
Tell me, Hopkins, have you ever tried to drive a harpoon through a body? Even a hanging pig, for instance?
I don't follow.
It's no easy matter and demands a strong, practiced arm. The blow which killed Peter Carey was delivered with such force that the head of the weapon went straight through him and deep into the wall behind. My dear sir, you must pay attention to these little details. Do you honestly imagine that anemic youth Nelligan capable of so frightful an assault?
He couldn't drive a knife through butter.
Exactly. Is he the man who hobnobbed in rum and water with Black Peter in the dead of night? No, no, Hopkins. It is another and more formidable person we must seek.
I admit the strength of the blow may be a slight drawback.
Slight.
But Nelligan was there that night, and I'm sure I have enough to satisfy a jury. I have laid my hand upon my man. Where is yours?
I rather think he's waiting on the stairs. I shall avail myself of these handcuffs, Watson, and I advise you to keep your revolver near to hand. Mrs. Hudson, will you show the 3 gentlemen up, please, one by one?